Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast. I am your host, Stefan.
I'm your host, Martin.
And we talk about beer every week. Every week.
We do?
We do.
This is
every
a beer
week.
podcast?
This is a beer podcast.
No.
That we talk about beer every week. So, yeah, and this is another week, so it's another episode, and it's more beer.
More beer.
More beer is always a good thing.
That is pretty interesting.
It is, isn't it? And we decided to go a little light this time. We've been, even though it's still middle of winter, we said, you know what, we can't just live in these dark days forever. We have to bring some light into the world and make things sparkly and fun.
Exactly. So light both in color and somewhat in ABV.
Yes.
The one I brought is 5.5.
And the one I brought is 15. No, it's 4.5.
15 million.
15%.
Yeah, but this is going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
For me, it's one really old acquaintance and one really new acquaintance.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Should we start with the beer you brought?
Let's start with the beer you brought because it's not as carbonated. So.
Sure thing. So I recently bought lambics from a completely new lambic blendery, a lambic brewery, and they're based in Dilbeek. So
Okay.
lambic from Dilbeek, and the brewery is Kestmont. I think 2022 was the first year they ever put anything out.
Wow.
I bought a few different. So their big bottles were really expensive, and their small bottles were really affordable. There's some kind of weird. Some pricing there was completely off. So I bought the small bottles.
Okay.
We have Kruisbes, which is gooseberries.
Nice.
In Swedish, they would be krusbär. So Kruisbes and krusbär kind of make sense.
It smells very funky. I mean, it's got kind of that lambic-y nose to it, so it's just very, very promising. It's also extremely flat. There's no carbonation on this.
Exactly. And
which is a reference. What kind of lambic would that be?
when they are sleeping?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's a particular name for it.
Yeah.
Bruxelles?
No.
No, that's...
Cantillon, when they release it, it's the big guy from Asterix,
Obelix, yeah.
Obelix sleeping.
Yeah. Lorix.
Loeric.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
So now when we poured it...
And J. Fontaine has it, and they have it, and it's called the... Dociel, yeah. Okay.
So there's a bit of a difference between our glasses.
Yep.
You got the very first pour, which is completely crystal
it's
see-through.
just beautiful crystal see-through, almost kind of like a lager looking to it.
And I got the second pour, which is slightly muddled, but really beautiful.
Yeah.
This looks great. This doesn't look like any like yeast sediment or anything. It's just, it's the perfect...
And I got like strong straw and kind of hay nose on it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't get any, maybe a little pear on the nose.
And it has an acidity that I would relate to like American wild ales. Now I don't... Our Referent that we've had the privilege to try a lot of Referent in the last year. Are they from the US?
Yes, yeah. I think they're from the New England area.
Yeah, and they have this kind of American wild ale, slightly vinegary tone. That's not bad.
No.
It's just very specific. I get some of that from here, even though this is authentic Belgian.
All right,
lambic.
let's jump into this. Cheers.
Let's try it.
It's pretty good.
Initial taste goes boom, fruit and berries. Then it disappears quite quickly.
Yeah, and then you're left with a kind of dry, slightly tart aftertaste.
Yeah, that makes my mouth water.
Yeah, exactly, which is kind of fun. But it's not like so sour that you're puckering or anything. It's just that kind of, I don't know, slightly citric-y acid thing that kind of makes your mouth water, which is what you're looking for, I think.
The secret now, and you could try it while I'm speaking, is to keep it in your mouth and just kind of roll it around. For me, that made the flavor keep throughout the entire experience. And I think actually that the flavor lingers a little bit longer. Yeah. That's not the case with a lot of beers. It doesn't really matter if you saturate your taste buds with it. Might be something about the acidity that affects it in that way.
I think you're definitely right. It really boosts it in the flavor profile. I'm not so familiar with gooseberries, and I'm like, oh, so much gooseberry. It's like eating raw gooseberries. I can't say that, but it is, a good, pleasant, citricy, acid kind of enjoyable flavor with a tangy tartness to it.
Yeah. So I grew up. My parents had a gooseberry bush in the yard. So I as a little kid, I always ate gooseberries. And you're supposed to wait until they're ripe, then they're very sweet. I never did that. I always raided the gooseberry bush when they were not really ripe, and then they're really acidic.
Yeah, I bet.
And yes, sure, I can identify some of the flavors in this beer from actual gooseberries. So there's no question that they did include them. But I think this beer is suffering from the lack of carbonation.
Yeah, I think so too. Because even when you agitate in your mouth, it does kind of get a little bit of carbonation going there, but it's still pretty flat overall. So what do you think about this one?
If I had to rate it,
it's part of the process. We want ratings here.
If I give it a 4, it'll be the weakest 4 in a long time. It's probably a 3.75, but I'll go 4 based on the initial flavors.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with just a 3.5.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I'd like to try more from them. It's not like some of the other new mysterious lambics we've tried or goes that we've tried where you're just kind of like, all right, well, this could be good or bad. We just don't know. I think this definitely shows potential. It shows some skills going on here. I think the other bottles would be really fun to try and be really interesting overall. Definitely a fun beer to try.
So, first beer from Kestmont.
Yes. Well, hopefully we'll have another one on the show at some point.
We'll see.
Okay, so the second beer is from Jolly Pumpkin out of, where are they from? The U.S., but I don't remember. Brewed in Dexter, Michigan. And Jolly Pumpkin's been around for forever. I mean, they were kind of one of the early importers, I think, or breweries that were imported into Sweden.
Yeah.
Or Denmark, anyway.
Exactly. I think it was they were available in Ölbutiken.
Yeah.
And places like that.
Yeah. So I think that's where I started seeing them. So I've been seeing them for 10 years probably.
Yeah.
Around the area.
And I checked before this episode. I had this for the first time in 2009.
2009.
That is a long time ago.
That is a really long time ago.
And we said the name of the beer.
No, so it's called Biere, and it's a farmhouse ale. This is one that I've seen just on the shelves for forever, and I've never picked it up because there's always been something else that I wanted to try instead. I got this as part of an online sell.
Nice.
So I was like, hey, that's a perfect price point for me. I'll definitely grab one of these, and I've always wanted to try it. And this is a farmhouse saison. It's a Biere, 4.5%.
I think BAM is actually the brewery dog from when they first started making it. I don't know if the dog
has sloughed off this mortal coil.
Oh.
Probably.
Sleeping with the fishes.
I hope he died on his natural causes and not was given fit of a cement shoes.
Exactly.
Fuck that dog. We hate that dog so much.
They don't write out the story on.
But there's I think there's several different beers with the BAM name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was another one of these that I have tried, but this was one that I hadn't. But yeah, this looks very saison-y. It's kind of yellow strawish in color, and
Definitely smells funky.
It has that funky saison-y farmhouse.
Very lemony aroma.
Yeah, lemon, little barnyard funk going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right in my wheelhouse here. So cheers. Yeah. Definitely got some lemon tones in there.
A lot of lemon.
Meyer lemon kind of flavors going on there. Very nicely, lightly carbonated.
Almost a little bit sweet.
Mm-hmm. So the funkiness isn't as heavy as I would like.
No.
I'd like to be a little bit funkier, but I think if you're trying to introduce someone to what a farmhouse beer is, this is a pretty good introductory kind of beer, because it's got enough of those characters that you're going to be like able to tell it's a farmhouse ale, but it's not going to be so over the top that people are going to be like, well, I never need to ever have that again.
I agree. This is probably a good beer to dip your toes into. Saison and farmhouse funky yeastiness. It's not very yeasty.
It's not yeasty at all. I think the aftertaste is kind of melon, like strawberry kind of tones. It's a really nice beer.
I mean, they tout it as dry hopped. I'm not getting a lot of
do they
like bitterness. They do on online.
Oh, okay. I don't see it on the can.
They write, an artisan farmhouse ale that is golden, naturally cloudy, bottle conditioned, and dry hopped for a perfectly refreshing balance of spicy malts, hops, and yeast. And that's where the description kind of loses me. The description loses me. The beer doesn't.
Well, I wonder, they said bottle conditioned, so I'm wondering if this is one of those things where
they've kept the
descriptors, but it's not really quite the same process. Because this came in a can.
Yeah.
I think Jolly Pumpkin switched to cans for a lot of their stuff at some point in 2022. I saw a lot of their things on the shelves in cans at like kiosk. And they moved away from the bottles. Right. I think that's also why the price point dropped. Lighter shipping cost and easier to move. But it's in a nice black can, which is kind of fun.
It's not a bad beer. It's very drinkable.
Yeah.
It's not really a winter beer, but we've never been judges of that.
Nope, not at all. So yeah, would you want to rate this one as well?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a strong 3.75. I could almost go a weak 4, but I'm gonna go 3.75. I'm
a solid 3.75.
I just like the drinkability factor of this. It's 4.5%. You could really just really sit and down a couple of cans of this, and you'd be quite happy.
The lemon is getting to me. It's more and more each sip. I'm not changing any ratings, but I don't think I could get the whole can down.
Okay.
It almost goes into territory of these like weird mass-produced lagers with lemon flavor.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like what's the Kronenbourg 1664?
Yeah, and like Budweiser does stuff like that. Or Bud Light, I guess.
This one is better and it is craft, but it's approaching that kind of territory with this.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm surprised that there is no lemon in this.
Mm-hmm. For as much lemon flavor as you're getting, it almost tastes like there might be a little lemon peel or something in there.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was fun. Something different. So you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram,
and many other places.
And all the other places where there's podcasts, you can find us.
Just Google us.
Yes, we're there. So until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.